Every wound tells a story.
My mom didn't even look up when I told her.
I got promoted!
I said again.
I got promoted!
Nothing. Just the TV buzzing with a baseball game, Dad muttering something about bad pitching, and Ryan, my younger brother, scrolling his phone like the world existed only inside that glowing screen. The smell of roast chicken filled the kitchen. I'd made it myself, same as every Saturday. The table was set, salad chilled, pie cooling on the counter, a perfect picture of a family dinner that never actually felt like one. Mom walked past me, holding her glass of sweet tea, glancing at the oven like it was the only thing in the room worth her attention. "That's nice, Nora," she said absently. "Did you turn the broiler off? Last time you burned the rolls." "I'm moving to Raleigh next month. It's a management position. They offered me a relocation bonus." Ryan snorted without looking up. "Raleigh? Who moves to North Carolina on purpose?" Dad laughed, half listening. "Must be warmer than here." Then he turned the TV volume up. I stared at them, waiting for something. Congratulations, a hug, anything. Instead, Mom started cutting the chicken and asked me to grab napkins. I grabbed them because that's what I always did, what they expected. I filled the silence with movement. Plates, forks, napkins, the sound of being useful. If you've ever lived your whole life trying to be noticed by people who only see what you can do for them, not who you are, then you know this feeling. It's like standing under a spotlight no one turned on. When dinner started, conversation revolved around Ryan's business idea. Something about flipping motorcycles even though he didn't own a single one. Mom listened like he was pitching Shark Tank. I added, softly, "My clinic is expanding. That's why they're moving me. They want me to train new therapists." Mom nodded, chewing. "You always liked helping people," she said flatly, as if that explained everything about me. Ryan interrupted. "Can you pass the potatoes?" That was it. The moment passed like a commercial break. Later that night, I texted our family group chat with the official details. Transfer confirmed. Starting date, May 2nd. Raleigh, NC. Within minutes, I saw the read receipts. Mom, Dad, Ryan. No reply. 5 minutes later, Mom sent a photo. Ryan standing in front of his new car. Caption, "Our boy's first big investment." I just stared at it. It wasn't anger. It was that cold, heavy silence that comes when you finally realize no one's going to clap for you. That night, I sat on my bed with my laptop open to the relocation forms. Milo, my little poodle, curled up beside me. I whispered, "We're really doing this." He looked up, blinked once, and rested his head back down. That tiny trust, that was more reaction than my whole family had given me. 3 weeks later, I packed up everything I owned into my Toyota. No one came to help. No one even offered. When I texted Mom that I was leaving town, she replied 6 hours later, "What do you mean, moving? You didn't tell us." I laughed out loud, loud enough for Milo to lift his head. The highway out of Ohio was endless and gray, the kind of road that feels like it's daring you to turn back. I didn't. Milo sat in the passenger seat, nose pressed to the window, while I replayed the same thought over and over. They didn't even ask what day I start. By the time I hit the North Carolina border, the sun was setting behind me. The radio played soft classic rock, the kind Dad would hum off key to, but I turned it down. Silence felt better. Raleigh greeted me with warm air and the smell of pine trees. My new condo wasn't big, but it was mine. White walls, a balcony overlooking a park, a kitchen that didn't hold echoes of my mother's footsteps. The first night, I unpacked everything myself. A couch, a coffee maker, my therapy textbooks, and a small framed photo of Grandma, the only person who ever really saw me. When I sent a picture of my new place to Mom, just to share something good, she replied hours later with, "Looks expensive. Don't overextend yourself. No congratulations, no, we're proud of you." Just another reminder that in their eyes, I was still the one who needed managing. I stopped replying after that. And for the first time in my life, no one noticed. Work came fast. The clinic in Raleigh was bright, full of sunlight and kindness. My patients weren't easy, car accidents, surgeries, strokes, but they listened, they cared. When a man walked again after 2 months of sessions, he cried and said, "You saved my life." No one had ever said that to me before. At night, I walked Milo through quiet neighborhoods, past houses glowing with the kind of family warmth I'd spent years pretending we had. Sometimes I'd wonder if my family ever mentioned me at dinner. Probably not. Maybe I'd become the kind of relative people talk about in past tense. 6 months passed like that. Work, quiet, peace. The kind of peace that doesn't make noise because it doesn't have to. Then, one random Thursday, my cousin Mia texted, "Your condo is stunning. Can I post a pic of the living room on my design page?" I didn't even think. I said yes. She had a small following, maybe a few thousand, and the photo was just my living room, sun pouring through big windows, Milo asleep on the couch. She tagged me. I didn't know it yet, but that one picture, that harmless little square of my life, was about to drag me right back into the storm I'd escaped from.
If I had to explain my family in one sentence, they only notice me when I'm useful or when I make them look bad.
Growing up, that was the rule. Ryan broke things, I fixed them. Ryan lied, I covered. Ryan failed, I made excuses. And somehow, even after all that, he was the golden child. Mom used to say, "He's just a boy, Nora. You're the older one. You should know better." I knew better, all right. I knew better than to expect fairness. I was the quiet one, the one who followed rules, got straight A's, volunteered at the nursing home, helped Dad with groceries. But at every family barbecue, every holiday, every Hail family dinner, Mom would beam and say, "Ryan's thinking of starting a business," or "Ryan's so good with people." Then she'd glance at me like I was an employee who hadn't been promoted yet. And I'd smile, the polite, practiced kind, while my chest burned. Dad wasn't cruel, just absent, in the way some fathers specialize in being. His body was in the room, but his attention was always somewhere else. A game, a drink, a newspaper. If I ever tried to talk about how small I felt, he'd say, "Your mom just wants the best for everyone," which was code for, "Drop it, don't make her mad." By the time I graduated college, I had learned that silence was safer than honesty. I went into physical therapy because it was something no one could argue with. Respectable, helpful, not flashy. Mom told people I worked in hospitals, like it was volunteer work, like it wasn't a real career. Meanwhile, Ryan was on to his 4th startup, none of which lasted longer than a tax season. When his latest one, some crypto marketing thing, crashed, he called me. "Nora, I just need a small loan," he said. I laughed. "I mean, again?" He went quiet for a moment, then said, "You know Mom and Dad can't help. You're the only one who's doing okay." That's how it always went. Ryan made the mess, I paid to clean it. Sometimes literally. I'd Venmo him $200 here, $500 there, just enough to buy my own peace. Each time I swore it was the last. Each time I lied. Then 2 years ago, I stopped answering his calls. He left a voicemail that started calm and ended with, "You think you're better than me now?" Maybe I did. Maybe for once, I was. Mom never forgave me for cutting Ryan off. She said things like, "He's your brother, Nora. Family sticks together," while ignoring the fact that I'd been sticking for decades. I told her once, "He's 30, Mom. Maybe it's time he learns consequences." She gasped like I'd cursed in church. After that, she started calling less. When she did, it was mostly to talk about Ryan, how stressed he was, how misunderstood, how I should reach out. I stopped trying to explain that loving someone doesn't mean cleaning up after them forever. Holidays became a performance. I'd drive home, sit at the same table, and listen to Ryan tell recycled stories about big opportunities. He always had a friend in real estate or a partner in tech. Mom hung on every word. If I mentioned a patient who'd walked back after months of therapy, she'd smile politely and say, "That's nice, honey. You've always had a big heart." Then she'd ask Ryan if he needed another helping of potatoes. It's funny how you can be surrounded by people who claim to love you and still feel like you're watching your own life through glass. When Dad retired, things got worse. They spent more time together, circling each other like planets in an orbit built from denial. They started calling Ryan our hope, which made no sense. Hope for what? Another broken promise? I remember the last family dinner before I left Ohio. Ryan had just told Mom that one of his ventures failed because of market manipulation. She patted his hand like he was a child who dropped his ice cream. Then she looked at me. "And you, Nora, you're still doing that therapy thing?" "That therapy thing?" I repeated. "Yes, helping people walk again, remember?" "Oh, right. It's sweet you found something you like." Sweet. That word stuck to me like a bruise. On the drive home that night, I realized something. They weren't ever going to change. They didn't see me. They saw a background character who made sure the story kept moving. And I decided I was done being an extra in their movie. So when the clinic offered that promotion in Raleigh, I said yes before the sentence even finished. I packed my life into boxes and told no one until it was too late for guilt trips. They thought I was being impulsive, but the truth, I'd been planning my escape since I was 12. For a while, it worked. Until that picture of my condo went online, until suddenly family mattered again.
Leaving Ohio felt less like running away and more like finally stepping out of someone else's shadow. When I crossed the state line, I didn't look back once. It wasn't rebellion. It was relief. A quiet, slow exhale I'd been holding for 32 years. Raleigh was softer. The air smelled like rain and honeysuckle, and people smiled at strangers for no reason. The clinic was bright, painted in shades of pale blue and sunlight. My coworkers actually listened. Patients thanked me by name. For the first time, I felt like I mattered, not because I was useful, but because I existed. The first few months were blissfully ordinary. I'd wake up, walk Milo, grab coffee from the shop on the corner where they already knew my order, oat milk latte, 1 sugar. I worked long hours, but I didn't mind. Watching people take their first steps again after a surgery was addictive, like witnessing small miracles in real time. It was the kind of healing I wished I could do for myself. At night, I'd FaceTime Evan, my boyfriend. We'd met through a medical equipment seminar, 2 nerds geeking out over muscle sensors. He was gentle, thoughtful, a man who asked how I felt and actually waited for an answer. We weren't rushing anything, but for the first time in my life, love didn't feel like a battlefield. It felt like home. Every once in a while, Mom would text, "How's work?" I'd reply, "Busy, but good." Then nothing. Sometimes weeks passed before I heard from her again. When she did call, it was about Ryan. Always Ryan. He'd tried something new. It failed. He was under pressure. Translation, he needs money again. One night, she said, "Your brother's just lost his way. He's not as strong as you." It sounded almost like a compliment, until she added, "You could help him a little, you know. You've always been the responsible one." I closed my eyes and said softly, "That's not my job anymore, Mom." The silence that followed was colder than anything she could have said out loud. A week later, Ryan texted me himself. "Heard you got a new apartment. Looks fancy. Must be nice having extra cash." I didn't answer. For years, I'd trained people to believe I'd always respond, that my attention was guaranteed. Now I was untraining them. And God, that felt good. Months passed quietly. Work thrived, patients healed. Milo barked at the mailman every day at 4 p.m. I started to feel like my life finally had its own rhythm. Not a song written by someone else, but one I was composing note by note. Evan visited often. He'd bring takeout, fix my leaky faucet, and laugh about how Milo seemed to like him more than me. It was the kind of domestic calm I never thought I'd earn. He'd sometimes ask about my family. I'd shrug, say complicated, and change the subject. He didn't push. That's what I loved about him. He didn't need to fix me. He just stayed close enough for me to breathe easier. When holidays came, Mom sent a group text. "Christmas dinner at 6. Ryan's bringing someone special." No, "Can you come?" Just the assumption that I'd rearrange my life again. I stared at the message for an hour before replying, "Can't make it this year. Work schedule's tight." She read it instantly. No response. A week later, she posted a photo on Facebook. The entire family around the table, smiling, laughing, Ryan front and center. Caption? "All together again." Except they weren't. They hadn't been for years. That post stung more than I wanted to admit. It wasn't jealousy, it was clarity. Seeing them all like that, pretending everything was fine, made me realize I'd never been part of their picture. I was just the one holding the camera. So I stopped trying. No calls, no visits, no updates. And for a while, they didn't notice. That silence was both painful and freeing. Like cutting a rope and realizing you were the one holding both ends all along. Then, one evening, 6 months after Christmas, Mia texted, "Hey Nora, I'm in Raleigh for a design project. Can I come see your place? I miss you." I smiled. Mia was one of the few family members I still liked. Bright, artistic, nothing like the rest of them. When she arrived, she gasped. "Your condo looks like something out of a magazine. Oh my God, can I please post a picture? My followers will die for this aesthetic." I hesitated for half a second, then laughed. "Sure, why not?" It was just a living room, white walls, warm light, Milo asleep on the couch, nothing dramatic. She posted it that night, tagged me. Caption? "My cousin Nora has the dream life, so proud of her." And somehow, that post reached the one group of people I'd been trying to stay invisible to, my family.
The next morning, my phone buzzed nonstop. At first, I thought Mia's post had gone a little viral. She'd been growing her design page, and her followers loved cozy interiors. But when I opened Instagram, my stomach dropped. Among the hundreds of likes were 3 notifications I didn't expect. Mom, Ryan, and Dad had all viewed my story, the one Mia tagged me in. I stared at their names for a long second. It was like watching ghosts suddenly remember they still had bodies. By noon, Mom texted, "Your place looks nice. Didn't realize you were doing so well."
were so proud. The first time she'd used that word, proud, in years. It didn't feel like love. It felt like surveillance. An hour later, another message. By the way, your brother's been going through something. We might come visit next weekend. My stomach tightened. Visit wasn't a visit with them. It was an announcement, a raid. When they arrived, it was exactly how I remembered it. Mom walking in first like she owned the place, Dad carrying too much luggage, and Ryan trailing behind. Sunglasses on, indoors. He looked rough, thinner, nervous in the eyes. Wow, Mom said, looking around. This is nice. Her tone was both impressed and irritated, like she couldn't decide if she wanted to congratulate me or take credit for it. Ryan flopped onto my couch without asking. Big upgrade from Ohio, huh? He said, grinning. I forced a polite smile. Coffee? Water? Mom waved her hand. We're fine. Silence stretched. Then came the shift. Subtle at first, like a change in barometric pressure before a storm. Mom started asking questions she'd never cared to ask before. How much is rent here? Is this neighborhood safe? Are you making good money? Each question sharper than the last. I knew the pattern. It wasn't curiosity, it was calculation. Finally, she sighed dramatically and said, Ryan's been under a lot of stress lately. His business partner disappeared. There are debts, not his fault, of course, just circumstances. I waited, because I knew what came next. Mom smiled, that soft practice smile she used whenever she was about to weaponize guilt. We were hoping you could help him out, just a small loan. He needs about $39,000 to clear things. I stared at her. $39,000. She said it like it was 39 cents, like I could just pull it out of my couch cushions. Mom, I said slowly, that's not a small loan. Ryan shifted uncomfortably, eyes flicking between us. It's temporary, he said. You make good money now. I'll pay you back in a few months. I laughed, not out loud, but in that way you do when something's so absurd, it almost breaks you. Ryan, you still owe me from last time, and the time before that. He smirked. This is different. Right, because this time, it's bigger. Mom's expression hardened. You don't have to be cruel, Nora. He's your brother. No, Mom, he's a grown man who keeps asking for handouts. Her eyes narrowed. Don't talk to me like that. You've changed. That one made me laugh for real. Yeah, I said quietly. I finally have. She crossed her arms. You've forgotten where you come from. I looked around my living room. The plants I'd kept alive, the shelves I built myself, the diploma framed on the wall. No, I said. I remember exactly where I come from. That's why I left. The room went silent, except for Milo's collar jingling as he jumped off the couch. Dad cleared his throat, pretending to check his phone, the universal sign for, please don't drag me into this. Ryan stood. Fine, forget it. I should have known you'd hold this over me. You mean the years I bailed you out? Yeah, kind of hard to forget. He glared at me, jaw tight, and muttered, You think you're better than us now? I met his stare and said evenly, No, I just finally know I'm not less. That stopped him. For a split second, something flickered in his face. Shame, maybe, or realization, but it passed fast. Mom grabbed her purse. Come on, Ryan, we're leaving. Clearly, she's too busy for family. I didn't stop them. Didn't apologize. Didn't explain. When the door shut, the apartment felt bigger, quieter, heavier, but not empty. Just mine again. I sank onto the couch, Milo curling against my leg. For years, I thought peace was something you earned once everyone forgave you. Turns out, peace is what you get when you stop forgiving people who don't even say sorry. That night, I turned off my phone. No more messages, no more guilt. Just silence. And for the first time, It didn't hurt.
2 days later, the text started. First from Mom, "You embarrassed your brother." Then Ryan, "You think money makes you better? You wouldn't last a week without us." I didn't reply to either. I just stared at the screen, half angry, half numb. It was the same old loop. Guilt, manipulation, silence. Only this time, I wasn't stepping into it. By the weekend, Mom called. I let it go to voicemail. Her voice was syrupy sweet at first. "Nora, honey, I think we should talk. You were a little harsh and Ryan's in a bad place right now. Maybe you could reconsider helping him. Family helps family." Then her tone sharpened. "I don't know who you've become lately, but it's not the daughter I raised." I sat there listening, shaking my head. That's the thing, I thought. You didn't raise me. You managed me. For years, I believed being the good one was the only way to earn love. Study hard, say yes, don't cause trouble. But the truth hit me hard that day. Love that demands obedience isn't love. It's control dressed in affection. Evan came over that night. He found me on the couch, face down. "Rough day?" he asked. I nodded. My family found out I'm doing well, and suddenly they care again. He sat beside me, quiet for a moment, then softly, "You don't owe them an apology for outgrowing them." That sentence hit deeper than I expected. The next morning, I got a text from Mia. Aunt Karen called me. She said you were being cruel to Ryan. I didn't mean to cause drama with that photo. I'm so sorry." I sighed. "It's not your fault," I replied. And it wasn't. The photo wasn't the problem. The photo just proved I'd built something real, something they couldn't control. Later that week, Ryan showed up at my door. No warning, just his old car screeching into the parking lot and then his knock. 3 quick hits like he still owned my attention. When I opened the door, he looked worse, paler, angry. "We need to talk," he said. I crossed my arms. "About what? The loan I'm not giving you?" He exhaled sharply. "You're unbelievable, and I'm predictable." He stepped inside without asking. "You think you're so perfect. You think everyone's jealous of your stupid little apartment and your dog." "Ryan, no, let me finish." His voice cracked. "You don't get to judge me just because you got lucky." I laughed quietly. "Lucky? I worked for everything I have. You gambled yours away and called it ambition." Ryan froze when I said it. For a second, his eyes softened, like he wanted to argue but couldn't find a lie that fit. Then he doubled down. "You think I wanted this? You think I like asking you? Mom and Dad don't get it. They act like you're a saint. You're not. You just got lucky with a decent job and a boyfriend who pays for everything." That last part made me laugh, sharp and short. Heaven doesn't pay for anything, Ryan. I do, because I show up, I do the work, and I stop pretending the world owes me something. He shook his head. "You've changed." "I really hope so," I said. Then he played the oldest card in the deck, the one I'd always fallen for. "Mom's sick about this," he said quietly. "She's been crying all week. You should have seen her face after you kicked us out." I looked at him, at his practiced guilt, at the boy who never had to grow up because Mom never let him. And for the first time, I didn't feel anger or sadness, just clarity. Mom cries when people stop obeying her, not when they hurt her, when they stop listening. He scoffed. "So that's it? You're just cutting us off?" I took a slow breath. "I'm setting a boundary. There's a difference." Ryan's face hardened. "You'll regret this." I used to think that. Now I just regret wasting so much time believing things would change. He opened his mouth to fire back, but I walked to the door, opened it, and waited. He hesitated, muttered something under his breath, and stormed off. The sound of his car pulling away felt like a chapter closing. Milo trotted out from the bedroom and sat beside me, head tilted, waiting for the tension to fade. I knelt, running my hand through his fur, and whispered, "We're not going back, okay?" He wagged his tail like he understood. That night, I sat on the balcony, a glass of wine in my hand, watching the city lights flicker. I used to think peace meant everyone finally getting along. Now I know peace is just the quiet that comes after you stop trying to earn it. And somewhere out there, I imagined Mom telling her version of the story, the one where I was the cold daughter, the ungrateful sister. But the truth was simpler. I didn't become cold. I became clear.
For the next few weeks, the silence was almost too quiet. No texts, no calls, not even passive-aggressive posts from Mom. At first, it felt strange, like waiting for a storm that never came. Then slowly, it felt like freedom. My mornings filled up with sunlight and the smell of coffee. I'd walk Milo, stop by the corner cafe, and sometimes chat with the barista, who always said, "You look more relaxed lately." And I was. Not happy all the time, just unburdened. Evan noticed it too. "You don't flinch at your phone anymore," he said one evening as we cooked together. I smiled. "That's because no one's using it as a guilt machine now." He laughed, but his eyes were warm. "You did the right thing, Nora." I nodded, though part of me still doubted. Years of family conditioning don't vanish overnight. Sometimes I'd catch myself wondering what they were saying about me back home. I knew Mom. She'd already rewritten the story in her head. Poor Ryan, his selfish sister abandoned the family after getting money. It didn't even make me mad anymore. It just sounded predictable. Then, one afternoon, a letter arrived. Handwritten, no return address. I recognized Mom's handwriting instantly. Careful, rounded, almost too neat. I opened it, half expecting venom, half hoping for closure. It started polite. "Nora, we haven't heard from you in a while. Things have been difficult here." Then the guilt kicked in. "Ryan's had a setback. The stress has made your father's blood pressure rise. I wish you'd be more understanding. Family is all we have." And finally, the hook. "Even a few thousand would help. Think about it. You'll always be my daughter." I read it 3 times, then folded it back up, put it in a drawer, and didn't respond. That night, I sat in bed with Milo at my feet, the letter still echoing in my mind. For years, every guilt trip worked because I couldn't stand being called unkind. But maybe kindness isn't about saying yes to everyone. Maybe it's about saying no when someone keeps using you. A few days later, I brought the letter to therapy, my actual therapy, not the kind I do for patients. Dr. Lang read it quietly, then looked up and said, "What would happen if you didn't respond?" I shrugged. "They'd talk about me, say I've changed, say I'm ungrateful." "And how would that affect your life here?" she asked. I thought about it for a long time before saying, "It wouldn't." That realization felt like something unclenching inside me. I used to think boundaries were walls that kept love out. Now I know they're fences that keep peace in. When I left her office, the sun was low, that soft golden hour that makes even ordinary streets look cinematic. I stopped by the grocery store, bought fresh flowers for the kitchen, and went home, humming. That small act, buying something beautiful just for myself, felt like a rebellion against every year I'd been told I didn't deserve softness. Over the next month, life just moved on. My patients made progress. One of them, an older woman recovering from spinal surgery, told me, "You have healing hands, dear, not just for the body, but for the heart." I almost cried right there in the clinic. One Saturday, I took Milo to the park. The air smelled like spring, like new beginnings. I watched couples laughing, kids chasing kites, dogs tumbling in grass, and I realized something. I didn't want revenge. I didn't want an apology. I just wanted peace. And I had it. I didn't know it yet, but that peace would be tested one last time, because the following week, as I walked into work, my phone buzzed with a call from an unknown number. I almost ignored it until I saw the voicemail that followed. "Nora, it's Ryan. Please call me. Something happened with Mom." For a second, I froze. The hallway blurred. The air felt heavy again. And just like that, the quiet life I'd built started to tremble. I didn't call back right away. I stood in the hospital corridor, phone still in my hand, heart pounding, 100 possibilities racing through my mind. Part of me felt panic. Part of me felt tired. Because I knew how this worked. Every emergency turned into an ambush. Every "we need you" was code for "fix this for us." Still, I'm human. She was my mother. That night, after pacing my apartment for an hour, I finally called Ryan back. He picked up on the first ring. His voice was shaky. Mom collapsed at work. Blood pressure spiked. She's in the hospital. I didn't speak for a second. "Is she okay?" "They said she'll recover. She's asking for you." There it was. The invitation back into the orbit I'd escaped. I almost said no. Almost. But something inside me, habit, guilt, love, all mixed up, whispered, "Go." So I went. The hospital smelled like antiseptic and fear. When I walked into her room, she looked smaller somehow. Ryan was asleep in a chair beside her bed. Dad wasn't there. She opened her eyes and froze when she saw me. "You came," she whispered. "I did." For a moment, neither of us said anything. The monitor beeped softly, steady as the silence between us. Then she said, "You've always been stubborn." I smiled faintly. "You taught me that." A ghost of a smile flickered on her lips. We sat there for a while, just breathing the same air, both pretending we weren't thinking about everything we'd said and hadn't said. Finally, she spoke again. "I just wanted everyone to stay close." "I know," I said quietly, "but you can't hold people together by breaking someone else." She looked at me, really looked at me, maybe for the first time in years. "I didn't realize how much you hurt me." "Yeah," I said softly. "Me neither. Not until I stopped bleeding." She didn't cry, and neither did I. There was no grand apology, no cinematic embrace, just a small, fragile understanding hovering in the air. And honestly, that was enough. Mom fell asleep not long after. I sat there, watching the slow rise and fall of her chest, the faint hum of the monitor, the sterile light cutting across her blanket. For the first time, I didn't feel resentment or anger, just distance. The kind that isn't cruel, just necessary. Ryan stirred awake, rubbing his eyes. When he saw me, his expression flickered between relief and guilt. "She'll be okay," he said quietly. I nodded. "Good." He hesitated, then added, "I didn't mean what I said before. About you. About everything." I looked at him, tired but calm. "I know." He swallowed. "You don't have to forgive me. I already did. I just don't want to go back." He nodded slowly, understanding more than words could explain. And for once, he didn't argue. he just sat there beside me. The two of us listening to the steady beeping that reminded us life keeps moving, even when love gets complicated. A week later, Mom was discharged. We didn't have a big family reunion. No speeches, no promises, just a quiet goodbye in the hospital parking lot. Before getting in her car, she touched my hand and said, "Take care of yourself." It wasn't much, but coming from her, it was everything. Back in Raleigh, life resumed its rhythm. Coffee, work, laughter, sunlight. Sometimes I'd catch myself thinking about that hospital room, about how fragile everyone looked, and I'd wonder if they finally saw me for who I was. Then I'd remember it didn't matter. One Sunday morning, I walked Milo through the park. The air was crisp, the world calm. I watched a father teach his daughter to ride a bike, her laughter cutting through the quiet. He kept saying, "I've got you, don't worry." Something about that moment hit me. How simple love looks when it's real. No guilt, no conditions, just presence. I whispered to myself, that's what I want to be from now on, present. And as I stood there, sunlight spilling through the trees, I realized this was the ending I'd been writing all along. Not revenge, not validation, just peace. Because sometimes healing doesn't look like reconciliation. Sometimes it looks like walking away and not needing them to follow. If this story feels like yours, if you've ever had to choose peace over family, remember, you're not heartless for doing it. You're just finally choosing yourself.